Hi guys, it's Mrs. D'Amato from the Oldham School again. Welcome. I have Frog and Toad together. I was hoping to read the last chapter in this chapter book. So last time we read Dragons and Giants. Frog and Toad, the two best friends, were trying to figure out if they were brave or not. So today's story is called The Dream. So I wonder who's having a dream in this story. I'm going to pull up the pictures so we can look at them as I'm reading the story. All right, so here we go. Here's the front cover, Frog and Toad Together by Arnold Lobel. There's a few of these books actually. The last chapter book we read with Frog and Toad was Frog and Toad All Year. This one's called Frog and Toad Together. And remember, Frog and Toad are best friends that do a lot of fun things together. Like here's a picture of them fishing and reading together in a boat. They go on a lot of adventures and they're really close. They're always supporting each other and having a good time. All right, the table of contents. The first one was called a list. Then we read The Garden, Cookies, last time Dragons and Giants, and this time The Dream. So as we read The Dream, see if it makes you think of some dreams that maybe you've had. And sometimes dreams can seem real, and sometimes dreams can be really just strange. All right, The Dream. Toad was asleep, and he was having a dream. Oh, good. So now we know this is Toad's dream, not Frog's. Toad was asleep. He was having a dream. He was on a stage, and he was wearing a costume. Toad looked out into the dark. Frog was sitting in the theater. A strange voice from far away said, "Presenting the greatest toad in all the world." Toad took a deep bow. Frog looked smaller as he shouted, "Hooray for Toad!" "Toad will now play the piano very well," said the strange voice. Toad played the piano, and he did not miss a note. "Frog," cried Toad, "can you play the piano like this?" "No," said Frog. It seemed to Toad that Frog looked even smaller. And here you can see Frog in the audience in his dream cheering him on while Toad is asking him, "Hey, can you play the piano like this?" Frog says, "No, I can't," but he's happy to cheer his friend on. Now the voice says, "Toad will now walk on a high wire and he will not fall down," said the voice. Toad walked on the high wire. "Frog," cried Toad, "can you do tricks like this?" "No," peeped Frog, who looked very, very small. You can see in the picture he seems to be shrinking. He's getting smaller and smaller in his chair as he's watching Toad on the stage. "Toad will now dance, and he will be wonderful," said the voice. "Frog, can you be as wonderful as this?" said Toad, as he danced all over the stage. There was no answer. Toad looked out into the theater. Frog was so small that he could not be seen or heard. "Frog," said Toad, "where are you?" There was still no answer. "Frog, what have I done?" cried Toad. Then the voice said, "The greatest Toad will now—" "Shut up!" screamed Toad. "Frog, Frog, Where have you gone? Toad was spinning in the dark. Come back, Frog, he shouted. I will be lonely. I am right here, said Frog. Frog was standing near Toad's bed. Wake up, Toad, he said. Frog, is that really you? Said Toad. Of course it is me, said Frog. And are you your own right size? Asked Toad. Yes, I think so, said Frog. Toad looked at the sunshine coming through the window. Frog, he said, I am so glad that you came over. I always do, said Frog. Then Frog and Toad ate a big breakfast. And after that, they spent a fine long day together. And so that is the end of that story and the end of this chapter book. So in this one, you could see Frog and Toad together again. And in this one, Toad was having a dream. And he was having a dream in which he was on a stage performing, but Frog kept getting smaller and smaller, and Toad was almost bragging, can you do this? Can you do that? And his friend kind of shrunk away, and he couldn't hear him anymore until the end when he thought, oh my gosh, I'm alone. Then he woke up. He woke up, and he was so happy to see his best friend coming over his house, standing by the window, ready for another great day. It was a strange dream. Sometimes the dreams can seem real, and sometimes they're just strange. But in this one, Toad definitely thought that his dream was real, because when he woke up, he said, Frog, are you the same size? Are you there? And he was so relieved that Frog was there, and they enjoyed the day together. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one from Frog and Toad Together. That was the last chapter in this chapter book called The Dream. All right. Have a great day. Bye, guys.